I don't know. Have you seen I Am a Legend, the one with Will Smith? Yeah, that is how I feel these days. Fucked up. See, look at that. That's some apocalyptic scenario. The fuck. Okay.
Here's Karen at the help desk.
The world of medicine has seen its share of miracle cures, from the polio vaccine to heart transplants, but all past achievements may pale in comparison to the work of Dr. Alice Crippen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Not at all.
So, Dr. Crippen, give it to me in a nutshell.
Well, the premise is quite simple. Take something designed by nature and reprogram it to make it work for the body rather than against it.
You're talking about a virus.
Indeed, yes, in this case the measles virus, which has been engineered at a genetic level to be helpful rather than harmful. And I find the best way to describe it is if you can imagine your body as a highway and you picture the virus as a very fast car being driven by a very bad man, imagine the damage that car could cause. But then if you replace that man with a cop, the picture changes, and that's essentially what we've done.
How many people have you treated so far?
Well, we've had 10,009 clinical trials in humans so far.
And how many are cancer-free?
10,009.
So you have actually cured cancer?
Yes. Yes, we have.
Surprise, motherfucker!
So today we're gonna do a build video, okay? The Diatone cube. Hell yeah!
Survive!
Alright, so today we're gonna do a build video, okay? What we're gonna have is this guy. You probably recognize the frame, and this is our canopy. So this frame, as you know, is the Diatone cube, the 339 gtb cube frame, okay? And it comes with this frame, this nice little canopy, and I have plenty of stuff, okay? So one by one, I'm gonna show you the component that I'm gonna use and how I'm gonna build it. Because I'm very, very meticulous when I build a drone, but I don't remember when was the last time that I built something like this, that small. And yeah, so I'm gonna show you the way that I build, and hopefully I'm gonna build something clean and neat to be proud of. So when I upload the video, maybe some of you will take inspiration and follow my suggestions, my tips, and I don't know, maybe someone I'm gonna help somebody, okay? So I think we can start with the rundown of the component that I'm gonna use. So let's starting from, okay, this is the frame, okay, gtb339 cube frame, okay, from Diatone, beautiful frame. Then actually this one I keep it here because it's pretty and I want to have it around. Okay, so let's start with motors. I'm gonna use these motors, okay, the Shingnano 1204 4500 kV, and they comes in this nice little jewelry box, okay, and are beautiful. I really like how they are made, and remind me the motor that I use in my 5-inch, like this guy. Okay, this is actually my freestyle rig. Okay, so if you compare the motors, are very tiny. Let me see if I have. Yeah, I have a motor for comparison. Okay, those are the 2306 1700 kV, and those are the 1204 4500 kV. Okay, so we have a pretty decent scale. Okay, so especially if you compare this quad with this quad, yeah, we are having a proper downscale. Okay, so another example, just to let you understand the scale of this quad. Those are the propellers that I'm gonna use for this build, which are the HQ T3 by 2.5 by 3, okay, and these one are the one that I usually use for my freestyle one. Oh no, those yeah, it's the same. So those are the HQ R42, okay, so that's the scale to compare this motor to this motor, okay, and then it's gonna give also a feeling on the camera of what we are talking about, the scale of this drone. Yeah, actually this propeller, a 5-inch propeller, is actually bigger than the frame, so this guy is very tiny. Well, so, okay, let's move on. We talk about the frame. Let me drop this one in need. Okay, the motor away, because those motors are gonna go on another build that I might do it on another video about the 5-inch, but not today. Yeah. I mean, maybe in these days I'm gonna do it anyway, but now we focus on our little one, our baby. Okay, so those are the motors. As I said, propellers, HQ, John, you are the best. Okay, T3 by 2.5 by 3. Then for camera wise, we are gonna go with the Racer Nano, which is specifically designed for those kind of size of quads, but I have to say that I use this one also on my Racer. This is a very good camera. The image quality is beautiful and it's super tiny, and of course fit perfectly in here. Okay, this camera fit exactly as it should in this tiny canopy. So this one is the one we're gonna use. Okay. As a flight controller, we're gonna go with the Diatone Mamba system, okay, and we are using this amazing board. Why I choose this board? Because okay, is an all-in-one, okay, and is capable of this shot 600, has a 411 chip, capable of 4S, And with this board I can flash Flight 1, okay, Falco X. So that's the goal, to have this build up and running and having Falco X running on this tiny little beast. We are gonna go with the Crossfire Nano, okay. TBS Crossfire Nano, perfect. Okay. Then we are gonna have TBS Unified Pro 32 Nano, okay, which are gonna be paired with this piece of technology, which is the TBS toothpick mounting board, which is capable to mount this on the same board our VTX, okay, and cross-matching our Crossfire. Okay, so we're gonna have this tiny little board which hold the rest of the electronic right on top, like here, and then it has the 25 millimeter mounting hole, so I can go specifically for toothpick size, like this one. Okay, so we're gonna have this one, but this one, and this one in the center. With that being said, of course, we go Crossfire, so we go with the Immortal T. As Immortal T, we go with this other masterpiece, okay? This is the TBS FPV Cycle Mini Immortal T. Look at that. Which, why, but I feel that the scale is perfectly aligned with our scale, right? Of course, and then to complete, what about, okay, the plan is to use also the dipole antenna that comes with the Unified Nano, okay? Okay, so this one is gonna be our radio and video link. And everything should fit inside this canopy, okay? I believe it does, but I'm not sure if I can actually squeeze things inside the way that I like, because I like to have everything precisely neat, without weird loop or stuffing things inside with wire hanging around. I just like to make things clean. So it's gonna be a little challenge to put those things inside here. I might eventually design my own canopy, okay, where I'm gonna probably address some feature, because you see this canopy is designed to hold this kind of dipole antenna, okay. You see, it looks perfectly done. The thing is, this cable is a little bit too long, the UFL, and I don't want to bend it, and because it's stuck on this the tiny little UFL. Okay, so I want things that stay comfortable inside. So in case of crash, there's no tension that might pop up an antenna or the Crossfire antenna. Just let's see how the build goes. Okay. Another important thing. This is the battery that I think I'm gonna use. Are the Tattoo 450 milliamp 75C3S. I think they're enough for this build, and I like the way that it's gonna fit. So are light, long Actually, I'm not sure how they perform, but I think it's not such a wrong choice for this kind of build. I think it's made exactly for this kind of build. So let's see. I have 4 of those battery. Let's try. If they're good, good. If not, out. Buy a new one. So to finish the rundown, just don't forget that the frame comes with a lot of extra stuff like screws, zip ties. There are a couple of those battery straps that are very nice. Then we have our capacitor, some wires. We have grommets. We have sockets for the motors. We have an XT30, which is the one I'm gonna use. Then long screw for the stack, standoffs and nuts. These tiny little elegant O-rings. And then, as I say, a screw for the motors, for the canopy. So I think we don't miss anything. And we are good to start the build. All right. So let's begin with take some measurements. Like I want to prepare the motors first. And because I wanna find a way to mount it like clean. So I mean they have this is the flight controller is also the only one ESC, right? So we have the motor that runs directly from the arm to the ESC. So I want to find out a nice way to wire it properly without having like flapping around or making it sloppy. So I need some moment to prepare and figure it out measurements and how to tidy it up. Probably I'm gonna use some heat shrink to keep them together, and then align it properly, take a minute, double check if they're all the same distance it looks like. So because the pads are motor 1, 2, 3 and 4, so they all goes in here. So I believe that I can manage. If I prepare one, then I can copy the setup for the other. It's gonna be clean. So the motors is something that I wanna do first. As well, I want to prepare the power lead, okay, with our XT30, okay, and find a way to install the capacitor, because it comes with a capacitor, and I'm not sure with 3S if it's really that necessary, but I know for sure that having a capacitor is a good thing. The point is I should, okay, the power leader here, right? So the power lead goes like here, and the other thing, I should supposed to install the capacitor right there, but we also have the USB port in here, and I don't want to mess around and then put like strength on the capacitor. I just want to have a clear in and out USB situation. Not that I'm gonna use it that much, because as I said, I want to use Falco X, so everything's gonna be done via OSD, but still I don't want to have something flapping around like that, so I want to find a way to install. Probably I'm gonna install it right there, and with some wire I'm just gonna go from the capacitor to the pads, and then we have our lead that goes like this, okay. And also don't want to have like such a long wire, because it might not that necessary, especially because the battery goes right underneath there. So I'm thinking like if the battery goes like this, probably I just need probably half of this wire. Maybe I just go a little more than half, just to be a little bit more comfortable to plug it in and out. And so yeah, I'm gonna figure it out all those things first, and then come back to you when things are sorted out. Okay? Stay tuned for that. So, I decided first thing first, I'm gonna prepare the capacitor. Okay, I'm just gonna prepare, cut these long stems, and then I'm gonna solder on these power leads, which I'm gonna keep it like it is, and then I'm gonna put it on the frame. I try to find the right measure, so I'm gonna solder the capacitor right on the bottom of the board, and I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna run it in the way like it's gonna fit like in this location, something like around here, okay, with the wires that are gonna make it like more gentle and soft. So even if the frame transmits some vibration to the capacitor, they're gonna be like dampened from the wire, and it's gonna be something like, I don't know, maybe 1 centimeter long, this wire, but it's gonna make it like it's there but doesn't bother. Okay, and then I'm probably gonna zip tie the capacitor underneath until like it's gonna be like down there somewhere here. Okay, with the wire that are gonna go to the power lead. So let's do that first. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do the motor wiring situation. Okay, I already prepared 3 of them because so I was studying how to make it, and it's gonna be pretty nice. Let me show you how I did it. Okay, so we take one of those kind of tiny heat shrink. It said the diameter is 2.5 millimeter. Maybe, okay, I'm not sure. We cut like 4 centimeter long tubing. Okay. Now we have our tube. Let's make it round. Okay. So what we're gonna do first? We have to expand a little bit one side, and I'll show you why in a second. Very gently we do that, because if you break you have to do it again, so we go gently. Okay, so you see now the tip is going wider. That why? Because we want first to make it easier to put the wire in, and then we're gonna slide it all the way down, and I want also to go on top of this this heat shrink right there. Okay, so we have one continuous wire. It's not gonna be like this, that then it's gonna look ugly. We want all the way down. Okay, now another important thing is you want to have any kind of like indication, measurement size, like here they say that to 0.25 blah 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 E3 blah blah, so all the name of this tubing you want it underneath, so you don't see from the top. Okay, and then what you want to do is to start shrinking it, but little by little, because the thing that make it awesome is I like heat shrinks, is the fact that if you do it carefully, you are able to shrink it flat like linguine flat. And is a thing that is gonna make it look good, and I'll show you in a second why. Okay, all the way down, we shrink it. Another nice thing about heat shrink is while you heating it up, you are also able to model it, okay? So what we are going to, because that's the thing, okay? The flight controller here has a motor pad like goes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So from this motor, I hope you can see it, we are going to bend. Actually, no, sorry, it's put the flight controller in the wrong way. It's like that, exactly. Sorry. And that's important because you have to arrange the wire in a certain way, so you don't have extra wire that are just flopping around. So you see this motor, the wire goes down this way, and then I'm gonna connect it here. This one go this way, so they go inside here and inside there. Doing so, we're gonna be able, we can just use one zip tied and put it there, but maybe I can be able to just use, I don't want to say like a double side scotch tape, because that might gonna be a little bit too, not that it, but it's gonna look good, that's for sure. Or just maybe a tiny little bit of electrical tape that just hold it in place, and it's gonna make it super precise, tight and neat, okay? And then once I've done that, okay, I'm gonna try to make it even more fancy and solder the motor from the bottom using those pads here, because we are going for this solution that looks nice, but it's not very convenient on the field. If you break a motors, you're not gonna replace with tubing and stuff like that. So it's something like it's gonna look good, but if you break something, you're gonna struggle a little bit. So for now, I'm gonna just finish this one. I'll prepare it, I will bend it, okay? And then when I'm done, I'm gonna thin the pad and wire it up, okay? Just for information, this one was like 4 centimeters long, this heat shrink, and I'm probably gonna cut the motor like probably another centimeter long, enough just to have like to flip it up and go right under the pad, okay? But that we will see in a second. Let's move on. Okay, so the motors are there, right? So the thing that I just did is to tie the end of this tubing with some electrical tape in the way like now I can manage to work with the long wire, okay, without having anything flopping around. Because next step is to cut the motor at the right size, okay? So when we have enough slack to solder it comfortably, and but not too much to look ugly. So the way that I think I'm gonna do is to use some, I think I'm gonna use this screwdriver, okay? The reason is okay, let me do it this side. What I want to do is, first of all, to keep it flat, okay? to keep it to keep the wire that goes flat and flat reverse. So I will use this screwdriver like down right under the pad, okay, to give me like some sort of the curvature that I wanna have for the wire, okay. So I'll be able to pull the wire so they are flat and straight, okay. I pull the wire all the way on the upper side of the pad of the board, so I have the measure roughly, okay. So where my nail is where I probably am gonna cut. I use this screwdriver just to be able to don't pull too much, but I have to have it in the right measure. So when I'm gonna cut and I get rid of when I'm gonna cut the wire, so you see I'm gonna have this sort of loop. This loop is still pretty tight for me to solder on the top because you have to strip it and thin it, so it's gonna be complicated. But the thing is, we are going to solder on the bottom side of the board. So we're gonna have this extra length that hopefully will help me to solder the motor on a little bit easier. And then we're gonna have this nice curvy loop that when you'll see from all the motors is gonna look very, very neat. Okay, I hope you understood the process I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it and then I'll show you the result later. And probably I'm gonna take this time because I'm gonna to thin all the pads and cut. I will install also the capacitor we prepared earlier, and I'm gonna put the power leads on. But I'm not gonna put the XT60 yet because I wanna try to have with the battery. I wanna try to have it as more compact as possible. So and I don't know yet the length of the wire yet. So I'm gonna just put the wires on and then solder all the motors. And then we will move on. So everything is going to be much cleaner. There's not all too much wires around. And so it's going to be much easier to just move on and figure it out. The camera connection, the VTX, the receiver. So it's going to be already done. And then especially because we have this flight controller, you have nice pads, clean and away from everything. So it's going to be easy to solder, to work, even when everything is assembled. Okay, so let's move on. Let's do this thing, and I'll see you in a bit. All right, so I'm almost done with to solder all the motors. So after that trick that I show you, when you pull down the motor, you pull down everything, you find that the motor wire are from short to medium to long. Okay, so now when things get complicated, especially if you want to go fancy, a solder underneath, is because things get reversed, and then you have to do a little bit of thinking when you flip the board upside down and the motor has to solder upside down, and so which direction, which pad, which wire goes to which pad. So let me tell you, it's gonna be a little bit tricky, but you can manage to do it. Okay, the concept is that you have to solder the longest wire to the pad closer to the mounting board. Okay, and then you have a situation that is gonna be Okay, let me thin this one, so I'll show you. I'll solder it up, so it's gonna be even more clear. No. And by the way, soldering iron TS100 is for the win, okay? And as a solder itself, I'm using the TVS solder, which is 6337. Well, this one, the one that they sell. Anyway, so now let's heat up, and I'm using the iron at 320, between 300 and 330, let's say. Okay, it's fine. It may be a little bit too hot for those kind of little wire, but I like that. So it's just it's fast to work on. Okay, so let's thin the tip of each wire, clean the soldering iron for when you do this process. Okay. 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 Clean tip. All right. So what I was saying is that the longest wire goes connected to the pad next to the hole. Okay. The motor, you want to keep it like upside down because we are gonna reverse. So let's do like this. I'm gonna go. The best way is to keep the motor like laid parallel to the board, so you can go up easily and you don't fuck up. Okay. So, but I need to rotate it this way because if not, I cannot see. Then let's start with the first one. Okay, use a plier because that is gonna help you to go easy in there. Okay. Okay. And go. All right. Then, actually, let me push it more. I want this solder joint to be perfect. Okay. Then the medium one goes to the center. Okay. Okay, and the longest one, as I said, goes down to the one next to the mounting hole. Okay, and then hold on, let me do this. So it's a little bit maybe it doesn't worth the effort to do that. But we were dancing, so let's keep dancing. And then, so that is the mounting, the motor situation. Okay, I installed already the capacitor and the XT30. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put back those grommet in there, flip the board back, and stick it back on the frame. So we mounted the motor with all the screws, and it might be the moment of truth because I'm gonna connect for the first time the battery, and it might be the first time where we see some smoke. Okay, doesn't look like, and actually, you know what, I think I have the smoke stopper somewhere, which can come very, very handy right now. So, okay, let me put this one together and then let's see. Okay, let's do this. All right, so here we are. Now, as you can see, everything goes pretty elegantly on. Okay, let me take out the battery for a second. So as you can see, we have our wires on the motors that goes on the bottom. We have the power lead that goes right here. Our capacitor that is fixed to the frame over there. And so, in theory, now we should be able to plug the battery and listen some very pleasant sound, right? So, even though I'm pretty sure that nothing is wrong, it's never too bad, it's just to be sure. And with this TBS smoke stopper, I hope that we're gonna be safe. So I'm gonna plug the battery this side, okay, and I'm gonna plug the quad on this side, right, and then we should hear a sound in 3, 2, 1. Yep, so we are good to go. Flight controller is working, motor beeped, so we're good to proceed. So next step is gonna be to figure it out how the toothpick board, there it is, yeah, how this TBS toothpick mount for the Unify Nano 32 and the Crossfire works. The thing that I want to figure it out is if I need just to bridge just this pin with the smart audio pad. Okay, let me see if I can see. Okay, so we have the Unify that goes this one that goes in here, and then the receiver that goes on top. So we have the ground TX 5 volts TX and RX on this side, and on this other side we have the auxiliary one. So one of those is the smart audio. So what I want is instead of use the smart audio from the board, I want to use the smart audio from my full-size Crossfire on my radio, and I have it on the quad, okay, and works flawlessly. So it's perfect. I want to use it here, but this board I never used it before. So in the other one, I just like hardly wire the pin to the VTX and it works. But here I can see that we have these two pins here, which are right next to where it's supposed to be. I think I just need to just drop a blob of solder across and it might works. I don't know, I have to Google it. But so far so good. Our quad is in a very good stage, so we just need to figure it out at this board, and the build is pretty much done. So let's move on. Okay, let's go. All right, so I didn't find any information about how this toothpick board is connected, if actually the trays are somehow connected. I know the board that comes with the Unify 32 share something like the power. I just when I install it on the other quad, I just power the crossfire, and the 5 volts goes also to the VTX. I assume that this one does the same, but what I'm more interested is if the smart audio is already connected somehow, okay? And it's gonna take me some guesswork, but for sure is something that is gonna be alright. Especially, I think the main concern is I can see there is this pad is a plus 5 ohm, so I assume that this one is 5 volts out, because I can see camera, ground, and 5 volts. So I think this one are dedicated to power the camera, which I'm not gonna use it because I'm gonna power it directly from the board. Because my plan also is to upgrade it with a split, so I feel more secure if I power directly from the board rather than this one. And so on the other side, instead, we have ground, 5 volts. We say 5 volts 1. Or 5 volts in. I don't know. Then we have VTX cam. I don't know what are those. Probably here is where the video in from the flight controller with the OSD embed goes to the VTX. And on the other side we have this ground 2, 1, which I assume are the, as written in here, are the TX and RX for the crossfire. So those pins are the one for the VTX. Those are the other 4 pin that the smart audio is supposed to be one of those. And then we have this TX and a smart audio pad that I don't understand if they are connected or not. It will be nice if they are already connected. If not, I just bridge some little bit the pin, and it should work, I hope. So, well, no matter what, I'm gonna start to solder the components on this board, and we will figure it out together. For sure, I'm gonna leave some loose wire, because now this one is gonna go like down there, like there's nothing between. But later on, I'm gonna lift it up, because I'm gonna leave the space for the Rancam split. But for now, just no bother. It's just a matter of make this quad up in the air, and then we will have time to upgrade it. Okay, so let's move on. Let's start to solder our babies. So we have all right. So an update after struggling to figure it out, wires. Well, an update. I just wire here the ground, the power, TX, RX, and the ground and power and video from the camera to the flight controller. So I still miss to wire the one that the video out to the VTX, but it's gonna come soon. The only thing that I wanna say is that okay, this board has the pads on this side, okay, while the pins are here. So I was trying to find a way to make and then turn around in the way like the antenna don't overlap, blah blah. when I just decide to go straight. Like, okay, if this one is the antenna, I just go with this wire directly to the pin. Okay, so it's gonna be something like even more compact. I don't have to make wire running around, and it's just gonna be everything much more simple. To doing so, I will start first to figure it out. Like I just with a little tip of solder, I just connect on the top, and I figure it out. The Actually, sorry, it's not like this. It's gonna be like this. Okay, so I have the wire goes like this, and then I hope you can see it. I just go this way. So let's do that, and let's see if we can get power from the VTX. I also decide to just go straight with the pin from the VTX. I just go straight because it's one of the last two down here. I don't remember which one is the smart audio. I have to look, and then I have to go to this one. So I just go straight from here, and then I will solve the enigma if the trays are connected or not. I just go straight with the wire, and even if are connected, there's no problem. So I'll do that, and then I'll see you when everything is connected. Let's do this. All right, so just find out that yes, are actually connected. I just mentioned that the last pad of the VTX, okay, which is a smart audio, has a trace that go under the coating of this board, but you can still see all the trace, okay? So we have a trace that go from this one, from the last one, smart audio, to the second from the right, which is the one that we want for the smart audio. So I don't need to do any weird connection. Running wire is in theory is already connected. Okay. With that being said, will be interesting now to find out
how ridiculously large this black hole is.
the one that goes to the video. But yeah, so far so or is I believe it might be there is this one camera, because we have 5 volts out, ground and camera. So I assume that this one is like our if we connect the camera from this side, so it's gonna be the video input in here, okay, which is gonna be the one that comes from our flight controller to here. So we're gonna have the on-screen display directly to in our video feed. So let's wire it up. It's already, everything is already soldered in one piece. So I'm gonna trim those one that are here like easy and floppy. I'm gonna just wire it, just solder those temporarily here. Actually, yeah, temporary, because I need to make sure a couple of things, and then, but it's gonna be pretty open, because as I said, I wanna be able to lift it later on easily, so I can slide underneath the runcam split. But for now, let's just do this and let's see if we have video and the crossfire. Yeah, let's do this. All right, so I think we're getting somewhere here. I'm assuming many things, but I think I know that wrong. So here we're gonna connect our camera, okay, like this. And then we have our crossfire connected like this. Now I'm gonna tidy it up a little bit, okay? And mount the antennas, power it on, and let's see if blinks, what blinks, if it smokes, I don't know. Let's see where we are, because now that was a lot of guesswork now. And this one is gonna smoothly squeeze inside the canopy, and it's gonna be like perfect, like this, like so. Okay? Yeah. There's a lot of slack here in the camera, but it's okay, so I can pop it off the canopy, and this way you can see. And here we have a nice winding for the video with the power, ground, and everything. So I think this is a good setup. I can eventually, when I'm gonna go with the split, I might revise this one, and then I'm gonna go right for the same length that I need. But I prefer to shorten the wire rather than extend it. So I think so far we are good. So now let's put the antennas on, battery, and let's see what we have. Okay? Let's do this. Okay, so hallelujah. We're done. We have video, we have signal, everything is fine. I have to say something that I was really struggling to figure out what was wrong. This board, okay, now it's wired, so it's hard to take a look. Okay, has two video input. One is here, the other there, but none of them is actually giving any video. So what I end up to do is to wire it up directly to the pad underneath, and so yeah, then I managed to get the video work. So I don't understand why neither this one, neither that. So directly there it works. So if somebody knows what I did wrong, please leave it in the comment, and I'm gonna fix it. But so far we have video, we have signal, no smoke, we are good to go. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we finished this build. Was a nice journey with some challenging situation, but I'm happy to say that we made it. So as you can see, the build is complete, the canopy is on, and I did some fancy things here and there. I just want to make a rundown of the final things. For example, the Mortal team, okay, is coming out straight from the board, from the crossfire. Let's see if I can point it, okay. So it's coming out directly from a crossfire board there, and then goes up with a loop like this, and then it lays on top of the canopy. Then through these two holes of the canopy, I just take a zip tie, and then I chop the tip, and then I slide it through. So I was able to heat shrink with two pieces of heat shrink, obviously, the antenna like this, and the thing, it holds in place nice and tight, is not going anywhere. Okay, so and even if it hits the canopy, the antenna is not moving, and is not gonna give any stress to the UFL down there. For the VTX, okay, let me see if I can show you. You see that I managed to put some heat shrink over there, because as I was expecting, the antenna is a bit too long. Okay, so it goes down a little bit flat, and then it gets connected to the thing. So I was afraid that if it hits, okay, was going to pull and detach the UFL. So I managed to take a piece of heat shrink, just make a tiny hole on the side to slide in the cable, connect it to the VTX, and shrink it down, so that antenna is not gonna go anywhere. Okay, so then just to keep going with the rest of the thing. Okay, as we planned, the capacitor is fixed here with the zip tie, and then there's some secure fixture, but is also with the wires there, so it's not transmit any vibration to the flight controller. The power lead, okay, are not the same length. Is actually the positive wire is a little short, so it gives me this curvature. So when I plug the battery at the bottom, it just goes straight. You can go like this, or even on the other side of this arm, to have it even more tight, so the propeller, when in case is not gonna, hopefully is not gonna damage anything, right? Then I use 3 grommets for just to lift above the stack, and I might need to change this one in the future when I'm gonna put the Rancam split board. So I'm gonna 3D print some spacer that I actually need for the right size, so to keep it tight. I'm proud of the wiring, okay, the motors, they looks really nice flat on the board, on the frame. They looks really pro. So I checked already that we have a video. The crossfire is working. So this quad is actually ready. The one thing that I need to do, you see here, I have this grommets which are the same, and then just wrong. Okay, I need to 3D print those, because I need some spacer in there, because the screws were too long and they were not holding the camera down. And this one, they do barely nothing. Okay, so I just need to make it like probably I'm gonna make in a TPU gray, so they give the nice touch of Akira color. Okay. Then everything looks, all the soldering joints, all the motors that are wired nicely. I'm still not sure if it's really worth it, all this trouble to have the wire connected from the bottom. I mean, it looks nice, yes, but probably too much effort. And you can do the same in less time, but you know, what can I say? If you want the quad that looks nice, that's, I think, is the way to go. Maybe you don't like, but I really do. So with that being said, what we miss right now is to go through the configurator and flash the firmware. I think for now I just install quickly Betaflight to test over it, to see if the motor spin correctly, to see if there is any major electrical issue, okay, like noise or twitching. I don't know, just want to see this thing taking off, lifting off from the ground. And as soon that that is confirmed, I think I'm gonna go for Falco X, and hopefully I can share with you some flight footage, even like this, with just DVR from the goggles, or eventually if the virus, because yeah, today is January, what is that, 25th? Yeah, 26th. And in Shanghai there is the coronavirus, so it's not that such a great idea to go out and fly. So just staying at home and build things. Okay, so I think this is the end of this video. Let's yeah, the quad is built now. What left is software. So hope you enjoyed. This is our new baby, just arrived in town, waiting for a better weather. I talk to you soon. Bye bye.